Hello? What's going on, everybody? Everybody hear me? I think I don't have a picture up here. Can you see? Can't see. I'm speaking, man. Can you hear me? Can you guys hear me? I don't know what's happening here. Something's going on. What's going on, Tone?
Hola, guys.
Hey, Tone, can you even see me on the thing?
I cannot. I was coming in and I was like, wait a minute. I was gonna say, is my phone tripping? I'm like, I can't see anything.
I don't know what's going on here. Don't know what's going on, bro. But you can hear me though?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. I don't know, man. I got no video. I got no video. I'm in the dark, man. There, I'm just gonna do this. I'm just gonna do there, just let me do this. There, we're just doing this, bro. This is it. All right. What's going on, buddy? I just want to say everybody hi in the chat, man. Roy Boy, what's going on? Chrome, Vash Darwin in the building. Paul Jarouz, I don't know if I'm saying your name right there, bro. Sorry if I'm saying it wrong. 9 Drinks, Bryce S, Kenneth Womack, Go Lions. What's up, dude? I'm Salty in the building. Lion King, Micro Mike. What's up, brother? Alan Dana, Hatter's House, One Pride. Matthew Huntley, Nathan Lapointe, what's going on, fellas? My boy Madness. Don't know who that is. That's not a real person. And what's going on? Well, yeah, we got no video today. It's just audio. That's okay. I just kind of woke up from a nap anyway. So, Micro Mike in the building.
Yo, what's up, man?
What's going on, bro?
Can y'all see me?
Yeah. I'm having some trouble with my. I don't know what's going on with my video. My video just went kaput. So I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened, man. Didn't really. It just said your video went out. So I was like, I don't know. No idea. It's all good.
All right. What's up, Chrome? I see you in the building.
So yeah, man. We'll all go incognito today, I guess. So how's everybody going, man? How you doing, Antonio?
I'm doing well. I was just watching some film just to see something.
All right, huh? How you doing, Micro Mike? Everything good, buddy?
Yeah, man. Everything's doing really good. Yeah, just ruining underwear with streaks, but it's all good.
Oh yeah, well, that's really bad. Yeah. Mark forgot to comb his hair today for sure. Yeah, man, I got all that hair. I don't know what was going on, but yeah, man, we had got some news today about possibly losing Aubrey Pleasant. secondary coach for the Detroit Lions. Mike, how do you feel about that? I don't think it's happened yet. I think he'll be interviewing. I think he either interviews today or tomorrow for the Minnesota Vikings defensive coordinator job, and I think it'll be a significant loss if we lose him. We won't get a comp pick either because he's only been here a year, and he's going to a rival team, with a possibility. What are you thinking about that, Mike?
Yeah, that sucks, man. It sucks all around. I love Aubrey Pleasant. I love when he got into Kuda's face. I like his intensity. I like what he did with the players. Him and Aaron Glenn is a fantastic duo. Definitely something that helped our defense out big time. And if he goes to the Minnesota Vikings as their defensive coordinator, something we got to face out twice a year. Not only that, he knows our personnel. He knows the playbook. He knows our defense. And that's the last thing that we want to have happen to the Detroit Lions is we lose someone good that goes to our rival, and we just got to stand there and take it like a man.
For
and
sure.
I really don't want to.
100%. Antonio, man, what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, this will be a big loss. I really wanted to see what he could do. What a whole nother year with our DBs. Especially bring in some guys. Hopefully we bring in some guys. We need help there. This would be a big loss. Man, I hate that this had to happen. All these Rams head coaches, man, it's hurt us in that regard. He know Aubrey. That's part of the reason he goes with them. I don't know if he's gonna get the job. I don't know who else they've interviewed for the job. But I figure there's got to be like another really good candidate. If there's not, then I can really see him getting it. But I had to see who else was on that list. But this would be a big loss for us.
Another point to it sucks is we already know Aaron Glenn. He's going to get a head coaching job at some point. I was thinking next year. Yeah. And Aubrey Pleasant would have been the guy who would be the defensive coordinator if he got a head coaching job, you'd think. So that kind of sucks.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. That's what I was thinking too, that Pleasant would at least be have a shot at winning our defensive coordinator job in Detroit. Now, just going to a rival team, like I know, we're not going to get that comp pick. I think they have to be hired they got to get either hired as a GM or a head coach, anyways, right? And they have to be here 2 years. So going from secondary coach to DC, we wouldn't get the comp pick anyways. But Aubrey Pleasant's a good coach, like you guys were saying, guy that we were hoping that could grow with this really young secondary, and took on a really hard job, man, with this secondary, with guys falling off the wayside, man, getting hurt, bringing in guys like AJ Parker and what's the other guy that we brought in, Jerry Jacobs, and just working with these young kids. Just hopefully it's just an interview, but I think the Kevin O'Connell connection with the LA Rams there, where they both worked in LA together. I
want to know what's interesting about Kevin O'Connell. I don't know if people realize this.
Yeah.
He's actually on the Detroit Lions for 5 days. We picked him up off waivers, and then we traded him, I think, to the New York Jets for like a 7th round pick.
Really?
I don't know if you guys remember. They think it was 2009 or 2010 that occurred. And now he will be over there with the Minnesota Vikings, and we got to deal with this guy.
I know. I don't even remember that. Obviously, Kevin O'Connell was a quarterback, right?
Yep.
Okay, I kind of remember that. I don't remember him being on Detroit, bro. Honestly,
we picked this dude off waivers, and then we just traded him. So it was a great move by the Lions at that time. You literally just got a draft pick for free.
Oh, nice. Okay, yeah. Nine Drinks is asking here, doesn't AP need permission to interview? Yeah, well, they stopped that before head coaches could block interviews. I actually asked this question today on Twitter to Eric Schlitt, I think his name is, one of the Detroit beat writers. I was asking if if it was possible that Dan Campbell could block this request. And back in the day, you could, but in 2020, they passed a rule saying that head coaches could no longer block interviews of other coaches possibly going to other jobs. So it's a fairly new rule, I guess, a couple of years old. Before, a head coach could actually say no to another team, saying, no, you can't interview my assistant coach or my defensive coordinator or something like that. So to go to your team. But now I think either Aubrey Pleasant can say no, or he just goes for the interview. So that's changed. And I think that could lead to stuff like, saying no to another guy about possibly going for another head coaching job, or I mean, just any type of job, I think would maybe cause a rift. Don't you think? If Dan Campbell was saying no? Right,
no,
Mike?
you cannot get an opportunity to be a coordinator.
Exactly right.
I want you to be here. That will work real well. So he wouldn't even do that anyways, even if that was a rule. Dan Campbell is not that type of guy.
Yeah, because I think it was, I forget who it was. Don't quote me on this for sure, but I know a few years back, a while ago, I thought Andy Reid did that to somebody. I don't know if he was with the Philadelphia Eagles at the time, but he said no to an interview. And I think it caused a riff somewhere. It's because it's always going to cause a riff, right? Because, these guys want to get promoted.
Yeah, I mean, why would you say no? You cannot get promoted. I mean, pretty much every job allows that. Like not just NFL, pretty much any job.
It's just weird though. It actually used to be a rule, like coaches could block it. So I'm like, it sucks that we could possibly lose him, but it just kind of shows you that Dan Campbell, he's obviously doing something right, man. If there's teams that are interested in some of our positional coaches to become higher ups in the coaching tree, I think it's a good thing. So, Antonio, like Dan Campbell seems to be bringing in the right guys, right? So far.
Yeah, that's part of it. Another part of it is, connections. A lot of guys are gonna go with guys they know. They're both from that Rams tree, so he's gonna want to interview for another round that he knew. I actually checked the head coaching candidates. Don't even know who the other two really are. Actually, I think who's the other one? It was one of them I think I heard of, but it's not like they're going for like big names. A lot of coaches really go for coaches they have history with. They don't really go for any guys they never met before. They usually go with guys they know. So that's part of it. Part of it is he is choosing good candidates, but it just worked out bad for us this time.
For sure.
Boy, Mike.
Great coaching tree, though. It's better than something we've seen in Detroit's past where coaches go to die. Now it just seems like since we got Dan Campbell and all the, Deuce and everybody, it's like this is where coaches go to thrive. Is this really could happen? Like where you could actually have a coaching tree?
I don't know about that. We ain't got to that point yet.
No, we haven't got to that point yet, but it just seems like other teams are very interested in our guys. Aaron Glenn, Aubrey Pleasant, Deuce Staley's going to get some looks.
Oh yeah,
too in the next couple of years. He kind of got the raw deal in Philly over there too. I thought him coming over was a real nice get by Dan Campbell. I think it's just going to get better. So that's a good thing. It is a very good thing for the organization, and it's a good and it looks good on Dan Campbell too as well. But there was a game, Senior Bowl game, 20-10, I believe it was, for the national team over Deuce Staley / Dan Campbell's American squad there in the Senior Bowl. Wasn't the greatest game to watch. It was kind of actually I thought it was pretty boring to watch, but there were some good things that came out of that game. We got a couple looks at some quarterbacks. Mike, was there anything that kind of stuck out to you about that game, especially on our side?
$5 super chat from Travis the Goat Doily. Go ahead and answer that, Mark.
Let's do that one first. Travis Doily, $5 super chat. Thank you, sir. Do you think if we lose them, our cornerback and safety get worse or not? I don't think, these guys are young. We have a really young core over there. Aubrey Pleasant, first-year coach for the Detroit Lions. We saw a fiery guy, a guy that a lot of the veterans looked up to. Tracy Walker was a big fan. Jeff Okuda had good things to say to him, even though, they had a little thing on that sideline on that one game. But I don't think we're going to get worse, or I can't say that because, we don't know who's going to come in if we possibly even lose Pleasant. Pleasant hasn't left yet. He hasn't left the building yet. He's not wearing the purple and gold just yet. So I don't think we'll get worse. Let's see who we bring in first. I think, our guys are so young that they could be coached up. So let's just give it a little bit. Let's just calm down a little bit about maybe getting worse. We can get better. You just never know. And I'm not saying it's Aubrey Pleasant's fault that we get worse or better, but anything can happen, man.
Remember, we brought in this coaching staff. It's not like Dan Campbell can't bring in another guy.
Exactly.
We brought in a lot of good former players. I would definitely not be shocked if he leaves, whether they find another former player, a defensive back, or maybe they promote within. I'm not 100% sure. But regarding the Senior Bowl, I think one thing that everybody should take notice is the offensive line for the American team was cheeks, and they will not be drafted early in the draft.
That was the worst. That was like almost like watching high school football.
It was awful.
Yeah, that was like high school football, man. I was very shocked on how bad the American side of that O-line was. Like, I don't know, Mike. Like, can you explain that? Like,
well, if you ever seen what a really hot knife does to butter, that's kind of what, when I go over the tape, that's exactly what I seen. It was just terrible. They were just terrible. I don't know. We seen in practice how our defensive line was getting after the quarterbacks, and Antonio Hightower made a good point, and I was agreeing with him on the back end, is how can you really judge the defensive linemen now? Because that offensive line was so bad that you kind of ought to look at it with an asterisk.
A little bit of an asterisk, right? I think the kid from Oklahoma there, the Woodfrey, the defensive tackle, ended up being the MVP for the other side, for the American side. He was wrecking havoc over there against that old line. And I don't even know where that kid is going to possibly go in drafting in April, that kid from Oklahoma. But it looked like he might have made himself a little bit of money, but he was going up against that old line. Antonio, like, what do you think about that old line play?
It's horrible. And if everybody was having Jermaine Johnson, I'm just saying.
I didn't even hear his name once, Jermaine Johnson. I didn't hear Jermaine Johnson's name on the other side, though. Did
he didn't play in the game.
Oh, he didn't play the game?
Nope.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
No, he actually, after day 2, I think, is when he sat out.
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
He got injured.
Oh, he got injured?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think so. But yeah, that offense line is bad. I'm just saying, man, some of these guys y'all hyping up. Jermaine Johnson.
Yeah.
Some of these guys, that's the offense line they was going against. So I'm just saying, keep that in mind.
Yeah, well, no. Who knew, though, man? Like, who knew they were going to be that bad? Like,
I mean, if you watch the practices, it was kind of clear, like, they were bad. I'm not gonna lie.
Right?
Watching the practices was not good. The offensive line was getting killed on both sides, honestly, in the practices. It's just that one side was way worse than the other, but they were both not that great. When you look at it, some of the candidates weren't that as great as you probably expect. Some of these guys probably not even playing in their correct positions.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was bad.
Yeah, man, it's Lead Show, man. No Olympics, bro. I haven't watched a second of the Olympics this year. I don't even know what's going on at all. I don't pay attention to the Olympics too much, but yeah.
6 feet apart, bro. 6 feet apart.
What's that?
Olympics, man. That's all I know.
6 feet apart? What does that mean? COVID?
You know the COVID thing? 6 feet apart?
Yeah. I don't even know what's going on in the Olympics though. Like, do you?
No, I don't watch the Olympics.
I used to when I was young, but not no more.
I don't care, really, in all honesty.
Yeah, I know. So there was some quarterback play going on at the Senior Bowl too. I thought on our side, we had Malik, we had Bailey Zappi, and who's the other guy we had?
Sam Howell.
Sam
Yeah,
Howell.
Howell.
Yeah, Howell. You couldn't really get, like we said earlier, we were talking about the O-line. It seemed like they were getting pressured every 5 seconds, like just couldn't get their feet right. Malik Willis, personally, I thought he looked good. He looked great running the football. That's the thing that I didn't want to see, though, because I already knew that he was going to be a problem running the football. I just wish that we could have saw him a little bit more throwing the ball, but that O-line didn't give him too much of a chance. But when you saw Sam Howell, he seemed to be more pro ready, different systems in college, different kind of schemes. He seemed to kind of, even though he was pressured, he tried to step up into the pocket. He tried to shuffle his feet. He tried to look downfield. I thought Sam Howell probably looked the best of the bunch on our side of the football, even though, he didn't do a lot. He did run for a touchdown on a short plunge.
Sam Howell's footwork was phenomenal.
It looked good.
It looked really good. That was the first thing that stood out to me as I was just watching him and his feet. He just kept staying in the stance, regardless that the defensive line was just eating him up because of this terrible offensive line. He kept looking, and he was going through his progressions, looking downfield, like, wow, this guy's got some really good footwork. Underrated. He can scramble as well. I think the best quarterback that stood out to me, though, is Desmond Ritter. Wow.
He looked good.
He looked real good, man. His play actions are ridiculous. He's got command, throws a good football. The defense was biting, it seems like, every time because he is a dual threat. A guy, I think, his draft stock blew up. I think it potentially, he could be a late first-round pick, maybe early second round now because of that. I did love Malik Willis. The guy's got elite leg skill. He didn't have the ability to throw the football because terrible offensive line. But if you want a guy who can get you first downs and it's one of those special plays, he can do it.
For sure, man. He's got an elite athleticism to him. I love the way he carries the football. I wish I would have saw a little bit more him throwing the ball, but under some circumstances, we just couldn't see that. That's fine. What was your take on some of the quarterback play there, Antonio?
Quarterback play was really interesting. Dot Howell played well. Really didn't get a great look at Willis. I wanted to get a better look at Willis. Strong was at like you said, Ritter looking nice. I've been saying Ritter was kind of underrated in the draft process. I was like, this guy's most likely gonna go like around the first, just second round range, just like the rest of these quarterbacks not named. Brady Zappi's not going anywhere in that range.
No.
Who?
Wanted to see more from Pickett throughout this whole process. Wasn't very impressed with him throughout this whole process. He really struggled, especially. I know they say he really struggled during that second practice too, when it started raining. So he was dropping the ball. The hand concerns.
I heard that he was.
You want to see Pickett? He's right on the screen right now, man.
There he is. Right there, man.
The small hands,
swag and all, man. Hanson. That's hilarious. Yeah, man. I was hearing that too about the Pickett in the rain. They're asking him about dropping the ball in the rain, and he's got to wear I thought I heard that they say he wears 2 gloves. He wears 2 gloves when it's raining.
Well, he only wore one.
You guys hear that?
In that practice,
huh?
He only wore one in that practice.
But I heard he wears 2 gloves in a game on one hand. That's how small are this kid's hands, man?
Well, the rumors are it's smaller than 9. I think the rumor was that it was 8.5, something around there.
Wow. Kenny 2 gloves right here. One Pride 40 calling him Kenny 2 gloves. I like
a strong hand.
That's a strong hand. That's a little bit nerve-wracking to me. Kenny Pickett is probably still going to go maybe in the top 10, though, possibly if someone gets desperate enough.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead and take Kenny Pickett. Not us, but somebody else can.
Well, I don't know. I got a feeling he's gonna, man. I just got a feeling he'll go top 10, top 12. I don't know. You just got to be concerned about those hands, though, man. That's really concerning to me.
If he had one hand, just like in the movie Scary Movie, to be saved without falling off a building, and Kenny Pickett gave you a strong hand, would you take it? Well, in Scary Movie, he chose death.
He did too, eh? He chose death. Oh, that's crazy, man. I don't know.
You see, I seen this from Mel Kiper and Todd McShay. They do a weekly podcast. I thought this was really interesting. They're talking about Kayvon Thibodeau. When they're at the Senior Bowl, they talk to scouts, general managers, and coaches. And what they picked up is Kayvon Thibodeau is definitely not a lock to go the first 2 picks, but he could fall to around the 7th pick in the draft.
Yeah, I heard something about that. Yeah.
Yep.
I saw an article on Twitter saying that there's a possibility he could slip to between 5 and 7 or something like that. Something about the one guy was right. I don't know who it was. It must have been McShay. I think he wrote that something about his fire for the game. His fire for the game. He thinks it's not really there. So there was some back and forth with that. But I don't know, man. I still think he's a top 3 prospect. I think he should go in the top 3. I still want him at 2, but I think there's a possibility he could slide. I did hear that the Lions. I did hear a rumor that the Lions weren't really interested in him. I did hear that. Did you guys hear that?
Did not hear that rumor. That's kind of shocking to me.
Yeah, me too.
It's hard to really believe, though, all the rumors around this time.
Oh, they're bad now. Yeah.
You know, they're bad, and it's going to be some false stuff. We all know this. We've seen it a million times. But with the Lions, I really do think they'd probably want to trade back. I think that is probably their number one scenario.
I know, like the thing with trading back, right? You got to find that team. You got to find that team that, that falls in love with a certain player.
Correct.
And there's just no consensus number 1, 2, or 3 guy. It's kind of jumbled up. Like, don't really know who's going to be there. Well, we know who's going to be there. We know who's going to be there, but it's like there's no quarterback. There's even now they're talking about the defensive ends, Thibodeau and Hutchinson not being locks right there. So I don't know, man. I don't really know who's going to be even going number 1. Is it going to be Evan Neal? It should be, right, Antonio?
Well, the rumor is it's really between Neal. A lot of people think it's between Neal
and Hutch, right?
No,
no, the other offensive line.
No, between Neal and Mccown.
Yep.
Okay.
Apparently, some coaches prefer Conwo over Neal, so that they kind of playing a 1A, 1B with the old tackles right there. A lot of people think it's going to be off the tackle. I saw PFF saying that they had Charlie Cross, which is also interesting. I don't know. All three of the left tackles are going to be in play there. And other than that, I don't know if an edge rusher is going to be really in play there, but if it would be, it would probably be Thibodeau. I think Thibodeau probably fits. Well, it depends what that Jack scheme is. But considering like the current archetype of the current Jags edge rushers, I think they might lean towards a Thibodeau type guy.
Oh, okay.
Super chat.
I don't know about Hamilton being the best player in the draft. I'm not gonna lie. He up there though.
Yeah, man. He's. I'm not sure about the best player in the draft either, but
he might be number 2. I'm not gonna lie.
Travis Doyley, $5 super chat. How about Kyler Murray trying to leave the Cardinals? I don't know. Yeah, the thing on Kyler Murray, man, he's deleted himself from everything Cardinals related on social media. He's taken himself off every single platform, I guess, to do with the Cardinals right now. I heard it was all because he wants an extension and he's not going to get one. Now there's talks about every single team he's getting traded to now. I've seen scenarios where the Lions are going for him. Every team that really doesn't have a set quarterback, I guess.
Well, we got to remember. I do got a thing we got to remember.
What's that?
He just wants to play for your team. We got to remember that.
He's going to want to play. He's going to have to want to play for you for sure. But you know how Lions fans get,
because what I heard, I think they said that one of the posts he left up was about Mike. I think it was what was it, Mike Evans? I think it was Mike Evans saying he always wanted to catch a pass from Kyler.
Yes.
Oh,
So
so maybe he wants to go to Tampa?
maybe the Bucks.
Maybe. What do you think of trade value?
You also
For-
got to look at too. Remember, he was drafted by the Oakland A's too for MLB.
Baseball,
think-
yes.
Yeah, and
First
that's a
round.
potential there. He really loved baseball too. So, who really knows the trade value for Kyler Murray? Man, well, he's still on a rookie deal, so it's
Yeah.
going to be significant. Pro Bowl player, dual threat. I think there's a little bit of injury concern. Obviously, his lack of play in the last, half of the season, but I still think the value would be fairly high if your team trying to trade for him.
Yeah, for sure. Probably take a couple first round picks, obviously, right? He's super young, dual threat, like you said. His height concerns me, though. His height concerns me a lot, man. You see it as the season goes on how he struggles a little bit, on how teams kind of play him. I love Kyler Murray. I think he's a great talent, obviously, but his size does concern me a little bit, man. Because he got around the end of the year, man, he was getting destroyed, and that's a battle line though over there in Arizona.
I like to with a better offensive line and with a offensive coordinator who knew what he was doing.
True, right? That is true. So I don't think he's ever. I don't think. Well, I know he's not going to be coming to Detroit, right, Mike? There's not.
I don't know anything. I'm not part of the organization, but the odds are no. He's. We all can wish. I have my wish list. I love Kyler Murray. I think I like him as a quarterback. I loved him. The Cardinals drafting him, and I thought it was a smart move. But to get him, I was talking to TA on the side for jokes. I'm like, I'll give you Trey Flowers. I give you all the people I don't want. We could do it that way just for S's and giggles, but yeah, probably not.
Yeah, I don't think that's really going to happen, man. Yeah, guys, if you guys got any questions in the chat, man, just fire away. We'll let you guys kind of take over here. Your boy's really tired today. I worked all day and
sound like it.
I'm very tired. Yeah, I'm extremely tired. And then I came home and napped, which was the worst idea in the world to do. Just kind of passed out in my chair. So if you guys got the questions in the chat, man, just fire.
I got a question for you, Mark.
A question, buddy?
How do you feel about Ben Johnson as Lions offensive coordinator?
That's right. I didn't even talk about him. That's silly. I actually liked it, man. I thought it was we kind of predicted this. I think a lot of Lions fans kind of knew that we were going to hire within and keep it in house. It's a young guy, 35 years old, man, young, creative. Knows his offense. Was part of Dan Campbell's Miami Dolphins over there. So, and then Dan brought him over here. He kind of turned things around for Jared Goff a little bit. He wasn't the sole reason why Jared Goff got a little bit better down the stretch, but I think it was a big hire for the Detroit Lions. Like if it's good, if it works, why not just hire somebody like that, man? And I think it was a solid hire for the Detroit Lions, and it kind of cements it that I think we all knew that Jared Goff was going to be the quarterback this year, anyways, for 2022. The contract kind of plays that out, but I think it just it's good for Jared Goff because Jared Goff had a really good relationship with him. Obviously, Dan Campbell does too. They trust each other, so I think the sky's the limit for that. I'm not saying that Jared Goff's going to come out and throw for 35, 40 touchdowns, but his touchdown to interception rate was excellent once Ben Johnson took over the actual drawing up the plays. So I like the hire, man. I thought it was pretty solid. I thought it was the best thing that the organization could do, right?
Yeah, I wanted them to go outside before he was, when we had Anthony Atlanta. I'm like, this offense is terrible. But once the playbook got changed a little bit, the scheme got changed a little bit, the offense was starting to hum. And so I think if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Mm-hmm.
So don't, I think chemistry is the number one key. Chemistry wasn't working with Anthony Lynn. Clearly, chemistry was working with Ben Johnson. What, might as well just keep it going.
Yeah, for sure. Antonio, what do you think about the Ben Johnson hire for the Detroit Lions?
I like the hire. That was probably going to be the obvious hire.
Mm-hmm.
Really interested to see where he can do this year with Jared Goff. I think he's going to do well. I do understand. Yeah, that's really what I got to say about it. I thought it was always going to happen, and when it finally happened, I was like, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, it's a solid hire, man. It's good for the organization. It's a young guy too, so I like what they did. Patty Grimes is asking, a question here. Hashtag Barry Sanders or Emmitt Smith. Well, I'm going to go with Barry. I'm going to go with Barry Sanders. I think just the teams alone that Emmitt had, I think, were much better than what Barry had. Barry had some good teams in the 90s, though. Obviously, let's not kid ourselves. He had some pretty solid teams, some pretty solid old lines as well. But overall, Emmitt had the best teams. But if you're going to go talent-wise, it's got to be Barry. Right, Mike?
Here's my explanation, Barry. That's it. I mean, that's not even a question to me.
Yeah, that's all we really need. That's all the explanation we really need, man. Is just that. Yep, Barry Sanders. Antonio, what are you thinking about that one?
Hey, listen, would you rather have $1 million or 50 cents? Give me Barry.
Give me Barry all day, man. Patty Grimes. If Glenn gets a head coaching job next year, could the Lions get comp picks?
Yes.
Yeah.
2 third rounds. One next year, and then the one in 2024.
Yes. And I learned today, too, that only if a guy gets, like an Aaron Glenn, if he gets, he has to be either hired as a GM or a head coach to get comp picks, too, right?
Correct.
That's what I kind of learned today, too. I was thinking that any minority hired from another team, you get the comp picks no matter what position they get. But I was proven wrong on that one. So it has to be a GM or a head coach. Did not know that. Learn something new every day. So that's it. James Willis.
You missed the Dr. Detroit question.
Oh, I did?
Yeah. 2 up.
2 up? Okay. Who do you 3 want if we stuck at 2? Go. Mike, go ahead.
Look, who do I want? Kyle Hamilton, safety out of Notre Dame.
Okay. Yep. Antonio.
With Cheater, the offensive tackle, don't go at number 1. Yes, I said.
Who do you want? Neil?
Either one.
Either one? Okay. I still want.
I'll say I think Dan Campbell would be in love with Conwood. He's like everything that Dan Campbell stands for as a coach and everything Dan Campbell wants as a coach.
Yeah.
He's that guy.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I heard that kid's probably going to possibly play guard in the NFL, though. Is that true?
I mean, those were the rumors, although those rumors have they slowed down of late.
Okay.
Because it was more like during the season, there was a lot of talk of can he go at guard, and now the talk is could he go number 1. So I think the guard talk is probably gonna stop.
Yeah, he's like crazy athletic, right? That kid.
Crazy athletic, and he is nasty. The nastiest offensive tackle that's came out in years.
Okay.
That dude's nasty, and he's big, powerful. Yeah. Guys are loving him. I bet Dan would love that guy.
You never know. I guess you never know. For me, though, still, I still want Thibodeau. I just, I have my reasons. I think we're lacking a pass rush, and I think he would just add to it. I think he's still one of the best prospects in the draft, even though he's getting thrown in the fire a little bit the last couple of weeks. James Willis. What's this I read about Goff comparing Ben Johnson to McVay? Does
Ben Johnson have a really good looking wife?
Maybe. Be careful now, Jared Goff. You don't want to be doing
careful.
You don't want to be burning no bridges over here now, Jared. You already did yourself dirty over there in LA.
We don't need another pipe dream from you.
don't need another pipe dream. You don't need another, so I don't know about that. There's got to be some underlinings in there, so who knows? Patty Grimes, 49er, just got comp picks from Mike McDaniel getting this. Yeah, Mike McDaniel is biracial. So, yes, the 49ers will be getting comp picks for that. Bryce S., hashtag Lions, how far would you trade back if we do? Me personally, I really wouldn't want to go past 6 or 7, to be honest. Anything further than that, man, you better be really, really wet my whistle there. So I don't want to go too far back. Mike?
I don't want to go too far back either. I think 5. I'd be
Yeah.
okay going to 5.
Antonio, what are you thinking if we were to go back?
I want to trade back to any point at this. I mean,
Okay.
the draft's pretty deep at the top.
So it doesn't matter to you, just as long as we go back.
Yeah.
Okay. It's all good, James Willis. Don't say sorry. You're in here, buddy. It's all good. My biggest, when it comes to Hutch, he's very sus in the run D and his stiff hips. Sus. Uh-oh.
I want to say
Bro
sus.
schmo right there. That's a
don't
bro
know.
schmo.
And I wouldn't.
Yeah.
The thing that's going on with Hutch right now that's hurting his value is that the rumor is he has less than 33-inch arms. Is the new rumor with him.
Oh, really?
Yes, the rumor was he has less than 33-inch arms. And that's what's been hurting his draft value is that he might just have short arms.
But he was knocking passes down at Michigan, though. He was knocking passes. He was getting up there. He wasn't doing it on a consistent basis, but he was pass deflecting. I don't know. I think a lot of that's overblown, man. I think a lot of that's overblown.
There's
But
reason
it's
to
real,
it, but the problem is how they apply it. I'll give you a perfect example.
Right.
They did it with offensive tackle last year. I'll give you a perfect example. Slater. People have real concerns about Slater's arm strength, but I'm like, but the problem with that is it's only really a problem if you don't know how to use your hands. But if you know how to use your hands, and if you know what you're doing, if your technique is right, arm length doesn't really matter at that point. It really doesn't. If you know what you're doing, you know how to use your hands, if you got technique, arm length doesn't matter at that point. So it really depends on, do you have the technique to back up that arm length? And Hutch does.
Yeah, I think so too. I love Hutchinson, man. Like, I love him. I'm not just on, Thibodeau or nothing. I like Hutchinson a lot. I like Hamilton a ton too. So, and I like some of those tackles too as well. But I'm just favoring Thibodeau still a little bit. Go Lions, man. He's asking hashtag are we drafting Tibbs and cutting Charles Harris? Well, Charles Harris, they still got to sign him. He's not even
he's
a
free agent.
He's a free agent, so he's gonna be looking for some extra money. He earned a definite pay raise this year. So the guy that I can see possibly getting cut if we were to draft a Tibbs or a Hutchinson is Trey Flowers, right, Mike?
Yeah, for sure. Trey Flowers look, he's a dead man walking. This guy, you cut him, you're gonna save over $10 million.
Yeah, for sure. Nathan LaPointe says Sean McVay looks like Randall from Monsters Inc.
Got him.
Oh, that's
got him.
Wow. Bro Schmo's burner account. Okay. 9 drinks. Hashtag what about 15, 16, and 19 for number 2? Philly. That's a pretty solid haul right there.
That's more than the calculator. I actually did that today because there was a scenario where the Eagles wanted to trade up with number 2. Was it Bleacher Report? And so I was like, let me see what you could get for it. And per the the point system, it'd be 15, 16, and I think it's pick 52, the second round pick.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you can get all 3, I think that's a pretty big haul.
That's a pretty solid haul.
Yeah.
What's everybody saying here? I don't know how. I don't Hutch knows how to use his hands either. I don't know about that either. One Pride 40. I'm not sure about that.
That's just nasty with his hands. Let me tell you something.
I think he's really good. I think he's really good with his hands. Huh?
I was like, whoa. I mean, he ain't the greatest technique in the world, but
No,
he can do some damage.
using damage with his hands. He's very
And
strong.
even though I think that Michigan might not even been using him the greatest, and he still did damage.
Well, when he was in that Don Brown defense, man, for the first couple of years, they were using him completely wrong. They were using him really, really wrong. And then obviously Brown got fired or whatever, and they started using him a little bit better. Then he ended up getting hurt. I think that hurt him a lot. But then they brought in that guy. I can't even remember his name. The guy that I don't even remember the D coordinator, but they brought him in. And
Pascaloni?
No, not Pascaloni. Is it
He just got hired today. I forgot what team hired him.
Yeah, Carolina?
I'm sorry.
I think it was the Panthers, bro. Pascaloni.
Pepperonis.
Pepperonis? I can't even believe that guy's even in the. I can't even believe that guy's still coaching. Is he like?
I can't believe that dude's still alive.
Is he like 80? My dad's age. He's my dad's age, man.
He witnessed Abraham Lincoln's last day alive.
You're sure he did. That's just like when I read that today on Twitter, man. Oh my God, the Panthers were getting roasted. Did you see that, Antonio? On Twitter?
I didn't, but I'm not surprised that the Panthers did something like that. Man,
Why
that
would
organization went from promising to so quick.
You know what I mean? That's just he's got to be in his late 70s. He's got to be mid to late 70s, that man.
I'm surprised you get a head coaching job for the Houston Texans. The way some of these organizations work.
Wow, the Houston Texans, that's a whole other what do you think about that hire, Antonio? Lovie Smith.
Lovie Smith. I don't understand the hire, man.
Very lateral. It's very lateral.
Yeah. Because some people's like, well, maybe they wanted a head coach who gives that team a higher ceiling. You just got the same, bro. It was really a lateral move. And honestly, maybe a downgrade because he had that team playing hard and well and competitive. And I didn't even expect that. I thought it was going to be the first overall pick. That roster looks horrible, especially without Watson. And they played a lot better than you'd expect them to. Then they fired him just to promote their defensive coordinator. And the crazy part was, he wasn't even rumored to be a part of the head coach candidacy until later in the cycle. Then all of a sudden, one day it came out, I was like, Lovie Smith is a candidate. I'm like, he just became a candidate? How did they just decide he to become a candidate? What? I don't know what the Texans are doing.
Well, it was either hire a high school coach, Josh McCown, or hire Lovie Smith. So it was like they can't hire McCown. It's like they can't do it. It's like you can't do it, and it's bad enough with that. That organization is just going through. They are going through things. We're
hiring John Penasiti for head coach.
This guy's a high school coach, and he was like a guy that almost won the damn job. I'm like, how is that even possible? How is that?
Oh man, I love the Houston Texans. They're so trash.
It's just it's a mess of an organization. I'm glad we're just not we're not in that little circle.
I think they just look. If you got little kids around the end of the ages of 4 or 5, I think they just want to get a Santa Claus impersonator with his beard. That's all they got to do is instead of having to pay for somebody to come in for the little kids, they just throw on a Santa Claus outfit because Lovie Smith's got the beard like a god.
I just kind of feel for Lovie, man, though. Because like Antonio said, McCauley, man, he had that team. I think they were competing a little. You know what I mean? They were playing tough at the end.
So, does he last another year? I think Lovie Smith will get fired.
Lovie's getting fired next year, 100%. That's it. I don't know what this organization.
Josh McCown promoted.
I'm telling you, bro. I have a feeling that's going to happen, and that's going to be bad news, man. That's bad news. You can't. Is he at least going to get high? Is McCown at least going to get some type of positional job in the NFL before He's
He gotta be the water boy.
He's the janitor at the high school. Like I don't even get it. Antonio, explain this to me, bro.
I don't know it either. I don't understand how he became a candidate.
I don't get it either. I don't know how.
He came out of nowhere.
How does that even happen? How did Josh McCown become a candidate for the Houston Texans? Was he even part of the org? Like he wasn't even. Was he doing any type of work for the organization?
No, he was high school coach.
Yeah,
just a high school coach. That's it, eh?
yeah.
Wow. Like obviously he's got friends in high places, but my God, like I just don't even understand that, man. That's a bad look.
I feel so bad for Texans
fans. I feel bad for the Houston Texans because I got no real ill will towards that organization. I don't hate the Houston Texans.
I don't feel bad for them. They made bad decisions.
They make bad decisions.
They've just fallen off a cliff the last couple of years beyond belief.
Oh man, well
I don't know if it's the past couple of years they haven't been good. I mean,
this is ineptitude. Like this is not just not being bad. This is like scoring a 1 in your IQ test or something.
I mean,
yeah.
Remember when they traded for that one guy from Denver? I forget his name. Brock Osweiler.
The quarterback. Yeah.
I think they gave up a second for him too.
Yeah, they gave up some. Yeah, they gave up some capital for him. I remember that.
Oh man, let's go ahead. They trade D-Hop for nothing.
Yeah, the Texans sent a second-round pick for that guy.
Second-round pick, traded D-Hop for a washed-up running back in David Johnson.
Oh man, you gotta love Texans, man. They make us look better.
They make us look better, man. Go Lions is asking here, hashtag who's to say Jacksonville doesn't take Tibbs? Yeah, they very well could. Who knows?
It's possible. It's just unlikely at this point.
But they've gone what? They've gone
3 defensive ends out of 4 drafts with their first pick.
And that's part of the reason a lot of people didn't go on offensive tackle, especially because
I think
they need a left tackle.
If you don't protect your quarterback you drafted last year and you allow another year like this, you're doomed.
I haven't heard anything about Cam Robinson. It doesn't seem like he's coming back to the team. And the right tackle, I don't think they're moving him to left tackle.
Yeah, it seems like Cam Robinson. Yeah, I don't think he's going to be re-signed. And then they got another veteran on the other side, right?
Well, he's not a veteran.
He's not a vet. Third year guy.
I think he's going into his 4th year now.
A 4th year, okay.
You sent him Riley Reef over there, free agent, I think.
Yeah,
they drafted that one guy, the guy who went to Washington, left tackle, who was sat out for like 2 years. I forget his name.
I forget his name too.
They drafted him last year, but rumors is they still want to upgrade offensive line, especially because a lot of these guys are either going to be old or contracts coming up. Blender, center, is getting old, and I think his contract's coming up. Their left guard, I think his contract is up next year. The right tackle, of course, if this is his 4th year, he wouldn't need an extension. It just seems so likely that they're going off the tackle at this rate.
Right, yeah, for sure. James Willis is asking, did the Lions receive their complex? Yeah, I think they did, right, Mike?
Not officially, but we kind of know what we're getting, yeah.
Yeah, I think we're getting one for, obviously, Marvin Jones.
We get the earliest 3rd round.
Yeah, for Galladay, right?
Yep, and then we get, I think, a 5th. Is it a 5th round or 6th round? I don't. Yeah, something like that.
And a 6th. Yeah, I think we get a 3rd, a 5th, and a 6th. So yeah, not sure. I don't think we're getting. No, we're not getting any 4th or 5th rounds. 1 5th round, I think. A 3rd, a 5th, and a 6th. So to be continued, I guess, with that one. Josh was not even the head football coach. That makes it even better. Josh McCown wasn't even the head football coach for his high school team, and he's still a candidate. That makes it even better.
You must.
I have just looked at the Jag salary cap. Yep, I think offensive line is a pretty good bet at this rate.
Yeah, they got some money, right? No,
they got the money. Not only that, Linder, he's going to his last year of his deal. Their right tackle, Jawan Taylor, he's going to the last year of his deal.
That's right. Okay. That's almost a lock then, bro. Yeah. It's almost a lock, man.
And their left guard is on the last year of his deal? Yeah.
Oof. So we're gonna have like the pick of the 3 studs on defense. We're gonna have probably the picks of the 3 studs on defense: Thibodeau, Hutchinson, or Hamilton, or you trade back. So
I think we need to go ahead and take a cornerback. That's what I think. No, I'm just joking, man. Don't try to kill me.
I say take a center.
You take Stingley. We need to take.
No, we need to take a punter, bro. Jack Fox is a free agent. Take punter with that first pick we got.
Oh yeah, man, that's
Hey guys, I gotta get up off. I've been working all day, and I'm gonna chill out now.
Yeah, I'm gonna be doing that in a few minutes as well too. I'm tired and I can hear my family chirping upstairs. So have a
All
good
right, fellas, everybody. Micro Mike is out.
See you, buddy.
Peace.
Apparently, Barry said he would have had 3,000 yards in a 17-game season under Kyle Shanahan.
Who said that?
Barry.
Or did he say that at the Super Bowl thing, Super Bowl Live thing they were doing today?
Yeah,
he's today or yesterday?
Sports.
Oh, really? Oh, man. He probably would have, bro. He probably would have, man, Barry.
I mean, yeah, listen, he made Raheem Mostert a household name. He was just some guy who had just been cut by like multiple teams as an undrafted free agent. So Shanahan already proved he could work magic.
Yeah, like about that, bro. Like, yeah, okay, that's good that you brought that up. I'm glad you brought that up. Anthony Lynn going over there. He's the. They say he's the assistant head coach. It's all I've really heard. You think he's going over? Like, we all know Anthony Lynn's kind of like, he hasn't been a great OC. Obviously he was a failure here. He hasn't been the greatest OC in for other teams as well, head coach, whatever. But he's always had a decent run game. So him going over to San Francisco, you think he's there just to help out with the run game? Like, what do you think is really going on over there? Like, obviously he knows how to coach, but like, what do you think Shanahan brought him in for?
I think he's more of to help with the running backs.
Yeah, former running back himself too, right?
Yeah, he's out. Yeah, former running back, was a really good running back coach. And when he was with the Chargers, their running backs always did well. After Gordon was doing whatever, can't forget Eckler came up under him.
Eckler,
Justin Jackson, their other running back, he was doing well under him. So he just has a good track history list with making running backs, look better. And that would be really nasty with the 49ers because they are the franchise. Well, Shanahan has a great track list of just making running backs and running games look better as a whole. So that combination could be nasty. But yeah, I think he's ready to do something with the run game. Not only does he not offer anything in the pass game, but I don't know if he could tell Shanahan a single thing about passing the ball.
No, I don't think he's there, bro, to help out.
Shanahan just be like, listen, they running whose system they running? They running my system. Well, you ain't got no system.
Yeah, you ain't got no system, man. So, if that team gets a quarterback, San Francisco, they're dangerous, man. That team finds a quarterback, and it's supposed to be Trey Lance. I think the jury's out still on that a little bit. He did not look ready at all this year.
Yeah, I don't think they expect him to be ready.
You think he's going to be ready this year?
I think.
I don't think so.
I think he'd be ready enough to start. I don't know if he'd be ready enough to like take the team to like
the next level,
the Super Bowl, something like that.
Right.
I don't know about that, but
yeah,
crazy. I mean, crazy things have happened. We've seen guys like Mahomes do stuff like that, so it's not like it's out of the realm of possibility.
That's true. You think? Yeah. You think Jimmy G's as good as gone though?
Yeah, I think Jimmy G.
Where's he going? Where's he going? You think?
It depends on what's going on with these quarterbacks. I mean, Kyler seems like he might want to go to Tampa. It seems like Rodgers might be going to Denver. And go to those places. It depends. Like, does Washington want to go for a quarterback? Apparently, the Panthers are sticking with Sam Darnold for another year. Apparently, Pittsburgh is really interested in Malik Willis. It depends with these, the Texans giving what's his name another year. So a lot of these teams that might need quarterbacks are kind of sticking.
Yeah.
Kind of staying where they are right now. But
what you think? You think the Houston Texans are going to roll with David Mills?
Yeah, apparently that's what the rumor is, that they're going to give him another year.
He looked
So,
good in some spots, man. He looked pretty decent in some spots. He did.
He did.
That's
He
okay.
looked good, and he looked better over the course of the season.
Yeah.
It is interesting to see how this is going to go. Because a lot of people think that Jimmy G could go for like second or third.
Wow. I'll tell you right now, man, if San Francisco was offered a second round pick for that guy, they better press the accept button. You know what I mean? That's like, I think Jimmy G's terrible. I don't know, man. I think he is awful. And if that organization's offered a second round pick, a second and a third, or whatever, run to the podium, accept that, man, because that's theft in my eyes. I don't know, man. I'm not a big Jimmy G fan. I think he's bad, man. He'll throw maybe a couple nice balls a game, but he's not going to win you football games. It's just
Can't trust him.
you can't trust him. Yeah, that's exactly
He
it.
melts down at the end of the
He
game.
melts down, man. He completely melts down when he has to do something to win a game. Really, and you can only throw the ball short to Deebo Samuel only so much. Like sometimes you got to make a play. And he just, I don't see it in him. He's had a nice okay career. He's a backup, like Chrome just said. Perfect. He's an absolute backup. So there's supposedly teams that are interested in him, though, from what I'm reading. All of it's hearsay. So who knows what happens with Jimmy G, but I'm sure he'll find a job. I just don't know if it'll be a starting gig. So who knows? Chrome's thinking Aaron Rodgers to Denver. Yeah, that's been kind of quiet. Suppose
it's quieted down over the. It was really high at the Hatchet hire, but it's kind of quieted down because this also depends if the Packers want to do a rebuild, because what Aaron said was he didn't want to be part of a rebuild.
True.
So if the Packers decide we're gonna run his back one more year, I mean the possibility of him staying goes up.
Possibility of him staying, yeah, like for sure, at least one more year, right? And but they don't have any money. Okay, they don't really have any money. I'm not a big believer in cap space, anyways. I think a lot of it's a joke. These teams find money. That's why they hire these capologists, to manipulate money. And I know they're in the red right now, Green Bay, and they got Davante Adams asking possibly for $30 million. Do you think that's good? Like, do you think they're going to be able to sign him?
Is that what?
Davante Adams is apparently asking for $30 million. That's the rumor. Do you think he's possibly going to be a Packer?
Oh, if Rodgers stays, they
right?
might be able to pull out something for one more year, but long term, I don't see it.
Yeah, I just don't see it either, man. Yeah, Chrome saying minus $50 million for the Packers. You got to go under that number. You have to be in the green by March, so they'll figure a way to get under. But I just don't know how they're going to do it. I just don't know how they're going to do it. Like, they can't throw that same team out there. I guess you could. They won what? How many games they win this year? 13? 14?
I think they won 13.
So
while being very injured.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So I guess they could run it back with that same squad, but now you got to somehow find some money for Davante Adams. It can be done, obviously, but I just don't know if it's going to happen. One prize asking a question here: Goff or Garoppolo? Oof. You want to take that one first?
Do I have to choose? Can I choose neither?
Yeah.
Can I choose like a backup? Man, listen. I'll go with no quarterback. If that's my choice. Give me no quarterback. We figure it out.
Well, say you got a gun to your head, though. Say you got a gun to your head, man, and they're saying Goff or Garoppolo. What are you doing? I don't even know, man.
You know what, man? Pull the trigger. All right, I'm not saying the trigger choice. Just pull the trigger.
Pull the trigger, bro. I was gonna say the same thing. I don't, dude. I can't. One pride, man. I can't give you an honest answer, and I don't think Antonio can too, man. I don't want either one. I don't want to. I don't want to show my bias here, but Goff played better down the stretch. Garoppolo had some moments though, so both are really, really bad quarterbacks.
I'd take Jimmy. I'd definitely say Jimmy G. If he didn't turn into a backup quarterback whenever you need him.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw the Dallas game. We saw what he did at the end of the Dallas game. We saw the end of the Rams game. As soon as they like Jimmy G, we need you to pass. He's like, uh-oh, time to melt down.
They're both brutal. They're both brutal. Like I can't even with a straight face even give you an answer, man. I don't want either of those guys. Like I don't want either, man. But if you had a gun to my head, man, I don't know, man. I'm leaning more towards Garoppolo, I guess. But man, he's terrible. Like, I don't know. But it's crazy, man. But we're gonna do one more question, guys. But just throw the question out there. Let's get a quick prediction from you, from Antonio, for you for the Super Bowl coming up, man. LA Rams versus Cincinnati Bengals.
I think that the Bengals have a better chance than people might give them, but
Yeah,
I don't know how you're gonna deal with Aaron and that D line. With the offensive line, I don't know how you're gonna do it. The Kansas City Chiefs pass rush hasn't been that great all year. Slaughtered them, and you got to deal with Aaron now.
I know.
Chris Jones giving them problems. Chris Jones is not Aaron.
No, Aaron Donald's gonna get those sacks. Aaron Donald gets those sacks.
Oh, he gets those sacks.
Yeah,
he gets more.
Usually Christian Jones does too, though. But somehow Shiesty was
making some. He was making some. He was being pretty elusive. Beating them out because Chris Jones. He's athletic. He's explosive, but he's not the craziest athlete.
Right.
Y'all know there's a whole nother league as an athlete. Listen, you're not getting
no other league. Yeah, 100%.
Then you got to deal with Von Miller.
Oof.
And then whatever Leonard Floyd does.
Then
I don't know how they're gonna do it.
And then you got that other D tackle they got in there, man. That big white kid. What's that kid's name, man? Oh, Gaines. He can bring the heat too, man. He can bring the heat too as well, man. I actually like that kid. That kid's got a high motor, man, for a big D tackle, big stout defensive tackle. I think the Bengals are in a little bit of trouble. But what are you saying? There's going to be a score of the game, bro? What do you think?
I'll say Rams 42-34.
Well, it's a high scoring game, man, eh?
Yeah, I think the Bengals are going to score a bit. Now, I don't know if they're going to be able to score enough to win, but I think they're going to be able to score a bit. Their offense is pretty talented. If they can just handle if they can just deal with the protection for a little bit, they could get some stuff going. I just don't know if they can do it enough to win.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. I think it's going to be a good game too as well. But I think the story to this is going to be how's that Cincinnati O-line going to hold up against that defensive front in LA. I think that's going to be a real big key. Can Matthew Stafford get his first ring? Been in the league for 13 years. Joe Burrow, second year. He's got a lot of time left on the clock, Joe Burrow. But I think it's going to be, Jalen Ramsey's been talking some junk. He wants one-on-one matchup with Jamar Chase all day. I heard that today, that he's calling him out. He says he can't wait to link up with him and play against him. So I think he's being I don't think he's being an idiot about it either, but he's talking a little bit of smack, saying he can't wait to cover him up. So I think the LA Rams are going to win the game. I don't know. I'm going to say 38-27, 38-30, 38-30. I'll say 38-30, and Matthew Stafford, MVP, buddy. That's what I'm saying. So,
yeah, I think that's probably gonna happen. Although I see what you said, Don Burr, how to stop Von Miller. You run at him. The answer is that I don't know if you run either of them. You don't. What you do is you run away from them. Here's the problem with it, though.
Yeah.
Bengals aren't. I mean, that Chiefs game. Every time the Bengals ran on first down, it put them behind the sticks. So that's part of the problem. Was the Bengals don't got the greatest run game in the world. Like, yeah, you can try to run it, but can you really establish the run game, especially against the Rams defensive line? I mean, I don't know. I mean, the 49ers couldn't really establish a run game against the Rams defensive line. And the 49ers have a significantly better run game than the Bengals.
For sure.
So it just depends on, can you establish that run game? And the answer is probably no.
Yeah, exactly, man. It's going to be tough. But plus, the Joe Mixon, obviously you want to get him going too, because he's a top 5 running back this year. He played awesome this year. He was great. He does a lot of good things for your squad, man. But that offense runs through Joe Burrow and those wide receivers big time. So you got 3 good ones. It should be a good game, man. I'm just a little bit worried about that defense. I'm worried about that O-line in Cincinnati, man. Joe Burrow, he's been running for his life in these playoffs, and he's been escaping. And I don't think he's going to be able to escape against that front. Man. He hasn't faced a front like that all year. So, you know what I mean? So that's going to be tough. It's going to be a tough game, but I think it's going to be a good game. That's going to be it, guys, man. Antonio, what do you got to say to the people before we head out? Antonio?
Oh, sorry.
That's all good, buddy.
I was doing something real quick, but great coming here to talk with you guys. Talking draft.
Right.
Gotta watch some more film if I can really get into some of these guys. All I can say is watching some Jermaine Johnson today.
Yeah.
Not impressed. I'm still not impressed. I'm like, you know what, man? Let me give him another shot. And before I came on here, I'd watched like 40 minutes. 40 minutes more, because I've already seen more of some of his stuff.
Yeah.
Do not see it.
For sure, man. But thanks a lot, guys. Thanks Antonio for joining me. Thanks Micro Mike for coming on as well. Thanks everybody in the chat. See you Thursday on One Pride podcast with Micro Mike. I got some videos dropping in the next few days. Your boy's tired. He's got to go though. I'm out, man. See you guys. Have a good one.